Hi, this is Alex Rowley for the Week 6 assignment for Human Development in Aspen University. The first question is, how does research on life conditions that accelerate telomere shortening illustrate the joint influence of heredity and environment on biological aging? I apologize if I'm not pronouncing telomere correctly. I've only read it. I haven't heard it said. But telomeres are a type of DNA that protect the ends from destruction. Eventually, they shorten so much that they no longer duplicate cells. Um, they protect against certain mutations such as cancer, but this shortening can also result in disease, loss of function, and can sometimes be fatal. Um, Research has indicated that certain lifestyle choices and environmental factors can contribute to this process of shortening. Some of the things that can influence it are, lack of exercise and obesity, a poor diet, especially one low on antioxidants, high stress levels, and lack of resources to cope and deal with stress, exposure to pollution, and excessive alcohol and tobacco use. This process will happen naturally throughout the course of someone's life, but it can also happen as a result on the environment. Um, and so it doesn't necessarily cause aging, but it will contribute to it, and it will contribute to things that come along with aging, such as loss of function and diseases. The second question is, why are people in committed relationships likely to be more sexually active and satisfied than those who are dating several partners? People who are in relationships are more sexually active and satisfied because of the level of intimacy that comes along with that. It's actually easier to sustain a romantic and sexual relationship when the couple has mutual interests, friends, hobbies. The more things in common, the easier it is to maintain a healthy sexual relationship. Um, Many young people, especially people in their early 20s, will start to have hookups. The problem with that is there are some negative emotional consequences that happen as a result of these hookups. So generally, the more satisfying the relationship, um, the greater the intimacy, which leads to um, more sex and more satisfaction. Um, See, the third question is, how does expertise affect information processing, and why is expertise necessary for but not the same as creativity? Let's see. Experts remember and translate information better than beginners. The amount of work and education that it takes to become an expert will give you certain critical thinking skills that can help you process information more effectively. Experts will also focus on the underlying issues, while beginners focus on surface level problems. The experts can really see the whole picture instead of focusing on just what's right in front of them. People usually need a certain amount of expertise in order to be creative. Our book calls this problem solving to problem finding. So that's kind of the transition from expertise to creativity. The more that you know about a subject, and you know what there is to know about it, the more that you can make changes and discover new things. Um, for example, I'm involved in the mixed martial arts and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu world, and there's a belt system in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. It goes white, blue, purple, brown, black, and you see many white and blue belts start to try to create their own style and their own game and try to do things in a creative way. And that is kind of frowned upon. It's more of a process that happens as you get better. My coach kind of says, wait till you get to like purple to brown belt before you start building your game. The more that you know the basics, then you can create different ways to get there. And so that's how this question kind of made sense to me. The fourth question is, what student and college environment characteristics contribute to favorable psychological changes during the college years? College becomes a time of learning and growth. Students start to think about the world around them and how they fit into it. They want to try to make an impact on it, and some will get involved in in activism and charitable and political causes. They focus on individual rights and connection, which can help them develop empathy and tolerance. They kind of start to understand where they fit in the grand scheme of things. The campus's activities and the students' willingness to participate in them will have an effect on this. When I first started attending college, when I was 18, I wasn't really involved in campus activities. I didn't really try to make new friends. I didn't really go to games. It was just I was there to learn and then go home. I had my circle of friends and I hung out with them. Now that I'm older, I wish that I would have gotten more involved and had that typical college experience. I think it's really up. It's a combination of the students and the campus to create that that favorable college experience that will have positive psychological impacts on them. Let's see. So the fifth question is, what cultural changes have led to the emergence of the period known as emerging adulthood? Emergent adulthood is the result of adult responsibilities being delayed. Many college students are kind of in and out of college. For example, I started attending college when I was 18, and I've been really in and out since then. I'm 27 now, and I'm about a year away from getting my bachelor's. That has kind of contributed to that a little bit. Another reason is some entry-level jobs require more experience and education than they used to. So people aren't getting settled on a career path as early as they used to. It's interesting to note that economically stable countries are more likely to have young people that are in this emerging adulthood phase. Money kind of makes it possible for some people to focus on individuality and other interests instead of professional or economic progress. All right, so the last question is, according to Levinson, how do the life structures of men and women differ? According to Levinson, men focus on career aspirations in their 20s. That is their dream, as Levinson called it. Women have split dreams and focus equally on career and family. Men in their 20s aim for reputable careers, while women don't focus on that as much during this time. Career advancement isn't their main focus right then. That'll usually happen in their later 30s. Men will start to settle down in their late 30s and 40s, while women will focus on both family responsibilities and career opportunities during this time. According to Levinson, this is the time period where the kids are starting to grow up a little bit, and so women aren't focusing on creating a family because they have already created a family. Now they can split their time and focus in between their family and their career. So that's Levinson's view of the life structure of men and women. All right, well, thank you very much. That's all I have. Have a good day. Bye.